The basics of what we do. We refurbish Arista, Alcatel, Cisco, Nortel, Extreme, Hewlett-Packard, Juniper, and Fortinet, F5, and most other brands you can think of. We have got a spray paint match for every single OEM colour. So we take your network equipment, we bring it in, we fully refurbish it, clear the configs, respray it, add all the accessories back to it. It's then repacked into a custom designed box to protect it. We get no failures or damaged goods in transit because the equipment is well protected with our boxes at the fraction of buying new equipment. We can even put your own brand on the packaging. Okay, so here's an example. An internet service provider or hosting company or similar, they have a network that's been closed off, end of contract or whatever. They send the equipment back to us, okay, so and it's got scratches, it's missing a rack ears, it's missing the console cable, and it's just gathering dust now in a warehouse somewhere where it could have been redeployed, reused, or even offered back out to other customers by that service provider. But currently they don't, because no one's thought, well, hang on a second, we've got all this value in that equipment over there. Let's realise, get some reuse out of it. Okay, so the unit arrives with us. The first thing that we do is clear the configs, clear the password, just to confirm it's working. There's no point refurbishing it if the unit is DOA. It might have a very old version of software on there, in which case we'll record that and share that with the customers so that they know in advance what the version of the software level is on that device. And then we'll send a test report to the customer showing them the state of play of that particular device, because they won't necessarily have a record of that. And then we begin the refurbishing process, and the first thing we do is take the lid off. After the unit has been data cleansed, it's going to need a clean. Okay, so we take the lid off. It might be dusty inside. We gently blow out the dust using our gentle air compressor and dust extractor. That device will then be stored ready for when the lid has been resprayed. The scratches are very deep, right down to the metal. We've all seen one. Okay, so we need to sand the paint off, okay, and those scratches need to be filled with a proper compound specially designed for metal cases. So we do that, then it's sanded, and then the unit is resprayed, because if you respray straight over scratches, they're still going to show through and it'll look horrible. Once the unit is clean, it's going to need to look pretty again. Okay, we don't just use any old paint, we use an exact match to the one used by the manufacturer. We use a safe paint that's been approved by our ISO guy, because there are chemicals in these and there are certain control restrictions that we have to adhere to. Okay, here's the clever part about the paint. We don't just use a smooth surface paint, we use one that's got a very fine fleck in it. And the reason for doing that is because it hides imperfections. The human eye can see scratches on or imperfections on the metalwork. That's why Bentley use humans to check to see if there are any imperfections on metal. You can't always use a machine for that. And it's the same with us and our respraying process. The fleck hides all the imperfections. It won't hide any scratches, they need to be addressed. But if there are any very small imperfections on the metal, okay, the fleck will hide that. It won't hide dents, but it will hide very small imperfections. Before you embark on all of this, you need to do the maths. At the end of the day, there's no point refurbishing a part that's value is £100 and it's going to cost you £50 to refurbish it, and the other half of that money to ship it from A to B. You really might as well scrap that unit or hang on to it for spares and mark it as not worth spending time on for resale. I call it the network equipment refurbish world because I operate within the used network equipment world. But we don't sell used equipment, we sell refurbished. We buy used, we're supplied with used equipment, but then we refurbish it and it goes out the door, not just used, it goes out refurbished. I just wanted to put that in there. Some companies, they have no choice but to use the OEM support. And that's fine, because we've got a way of you still using the OEM support, whereby we refurbish the equipment for you, it stays under the umbrella within your estate, which allows you to still get OEM support. Let me just go into detail on that. Because the equipment remains your property, it's never left your estate, you can avoid all OEM support issues. We all know if you buy something outside the official channel, you're denied official OEM support. Okay, so that's a fact, we have to deal with that. And it's not always straightforward. You have to shop around with a third-party company, and it needs to be a reputable third-party company, and there are plenty out there. And it's a legitimate business, and the OEM can't do anything about it except for put up a frequently asked questions result on a Google search to try and deter that customer from going with third party. But I think that's a battle that's been lost a long time ago. And given that the current economic climate is dictating money-wise, okay, that everybody's got to save money, I think we'll find a lot more companies seeking third party support for one reason only: money. Third party support, there's a little bit extra time involved in getting it right, but it's still time worth spending because of the money saved when you find a winner. So the example is, the equipment has gone to site, you bought it brand new from the OEM, it's gone to your customer site, they're on a 2-year contract. The contract's come to an end for a myriad of reasons, okay? The equipment comes back and the line is switched off, okay, or upgraded. You've got a device that may have cost you a few £1,000s several years ago, okay? It's still worth half that now. Now what you could do, okay, is we could refurbish that for you, okay? We send it back to you. It's been professionally refurbished and validated, okay? So it's been, as one of our customers said to us, it's been spruced up. It's been flushed out, it's data cleansed, it looks beautiful, it's in your packaging or our packaging with your branding, and it goes back on the shelf. But whereas it goes back on the shelf before and it just gathers dust and depreciates in value and it's a waste of money, it goes on your shelf ready for reuse. Now the beauty with that, it's never left your estate. It's still your property. You still enjoy OEM, full OEM technical support. Even if you didn't want to go down the third-party support route, and your company policy might be that you can only use OEM full support, then you don't lose that, because that equipment hasn't been sold from your company to somebody else, okay, and at that point it loses its ability to have full OEM support. It stayed within your estate, you still own it. Yes, of course, the serial number might be registered to the customer that it was shipped to, but for all the OEM knows, that customer might have, folded, okay, and you need to find a new home for that. So you can have that customer's details removed as the registered owner of that equipment because it's still within your estate, okay. send it back to us, refurbish it, okay, we send it back to you, you put it on the shelf. When a new customer comes along, you can offer them two options, okay? Full price, full OEM support, or the cheaper option. I bet they'll look at that. What's the cheaper option? The cheaper option is, okay, refurbished by you. Yes, you send it to us and we refurbished it for you, okay, but it's been approved by you, okay? And you can offer that customer two options. The full price or a refurbished price. Now the refurbished option, okay, that gives the customer one, a cost saving, and you an advantage over your competitors who perhaps aren't offering that to their customers. But you're also waving the green flag, okay? It's already used up its carbon footprint, okay? So it's good for the environment, okay? You get full OEM support. It looks as good as the option one, which was the brand new, but it's half the price. Okay, so that is a way to save money and to make your customers happy, because you've given them a plan B, okay? Because in the current economic climate, everybody's going to be looking at every single penny, and all of us need to do that. And this is one solution that will win you friends and new customers, okay, and save you money, because at the end of the day, you didn't have to go out and buy another one for that customer, because you've already bought it. It's already had its cost out of it, okay, so it's in stock at zero cost, okay, so you probably even make a profit margin on top of the refurbishing costs, because the refurbishing cost is not going to be anything near the cost of a brand new one. It may be your company's policy historically or currently, okay, not to buy used or refurbished network equipment, which is fine, but this solution offers you a way to offer a cost saving to your customers and a cost saving to yourself, because you've got all that hardware, okay, and all it takes is 10 switches that have come from a network, okay. One of them's worth a lot of money still, but it's sat there gathering dust with the other 9 that aren't worth anything. So what happens? All 10 get scrapped. It's crazy. Make a list of what you've got. Check to see if that 9th item, okay, which we know is worth a lot of money, okay, could be refurbished and reused, redeployed either within your own network or your customer's network. Today more than ever, we need to look at a cost saving, and we need to look at every single penny. We need to look at every single leak in the boat and see if it's worth plugging. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to know more, please email me, david@gocomsys.com, and if you wanted to come and have a look at our operation and visit our premises, you're very welcome. Just give me a call, send me an email, and we'll have the coffee machine ready for you. Thanks for watching.